Good morning, students. Let us continue with the sound of music, part 1, the fourth paragraph. Yesterday we have stopped with the third paragraph, how Evelyn was not going to give up, though the doctor told her that she has to use the hearing aid and go to the school for the deaf, but then she was determined to lead a normal life and she wanted to play the xylophone, and the person who helped her to play the xylophone was Ron Forbes. He was a percussionist, and how she listened this music in the different parts of her body, and he says she could feel in her different part of the body and mind and sounds and vibrations, and the rest was sheer determination and hard work. Hard work always pays, as we say. The fourth paragraph, let us continue. She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. She never looked back from that point onwards. And who was the great person in her life? Remember, it was the Ron Forbes. And then she started touring, moving to the United Kingdom with the youth orchestra. Orchestra means, group of musicians. And by the time she was 16, as a teenager, she had decided to make music her life. Can you imagine? And she auditioned for Royal Academy of Music. Audition meaning to give a short performance so that the director could decide whether she was good enough for the selection. And in the Royal Academy of Music, it is in London, is the topmost institution, and there she scored one of the highest marks in the history of the Academy. So far nobody had got that much marks, remember. And she was working in an orchestra, that means in a group, but later on she started to work to solo performances. Solo performances means alone, individually. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. 3 years course she did here in the Royal Academy of Music, and by the time she had captured most of the top awards, lot of awards she had got. Fifth, and for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. And she got right to the top. The world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. She got many top awards, but then she was not proud. She did not take any credit. She didn't accept any hint of heroic achievement, that yes, I have achieved something. That feeling of pride was not in her, because she says always, if you work hard and know where you are going yourself, you will get there. So there is nothing to feel proud about it. And she got there on the top, world's most sought after, that means most looked after, most wanted, after multi-percussionist. Multi-percussionist means many music instruments, thousands. There some 1,000 instruments she could play with, and hectic international schedule. Hectic international schedule means she was called or invited to many international countries, and it was a very hectic, very tiring job for her. However, she would never deny. Sixth paragraph. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It is intriguing. Intriguing means fascinating and curious, very interesting to watch. She is functioning so effortlessly without hearing. No effort, no struggle, though she is not hearing. The writer, one who is writing her biography, that is Deborah Cawley, 2 hours interview, let us say, or discussion, she experienced that she never missed a word. That means she could hear perfectly. you are talking to someone, and if you miss a word, naturally you are asking one thing and you can respond something different. Though she was profoundly deaf, she could respond to her without missing a word. Can you imagine what she says? You see, just for a joke, men with bushy beard, that means long beard, give me trouble, she laughed. And it is not just watching the lips, it's the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says, but that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. You see, she is telling there, it is not just watching the lips, it is the whole face, especially the eyes. Many times we say, no, what you want to say, the words doesn't come out from your mouth, but then your eyes speaks more than the mouth. You see, not to just simply watching the lips, one person what he is saying, but then eyes will speak. And she speaks flawlessly. Flawlessly means without making a mistake, without a fault, with a Scottish lilt. Scottish lilt meaning she was from Scotland, remember that. Lilt here means way of speaking or the accent or the pronunciation. And she says how or why her speech is clear, because she could hear till she was 11. That's why speech is clear. Usually those who cannot hear, they can't speak. That's a deaf and dumb we call. No, usually it goes together. But in her case, it was a gradual loss of hearing. It was not born deaf. But what that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. You see, not only Scottish language she was speaking perfectly, but also she learned French and basic Japanese. You know, these are very difficult languages, French and Japanese, to learn, yet she could master it. Not simply knowing, but then she was master of these languages. 7th paragraph. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonances flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. See here, she explains the music. She says, it pours in through every part of my body. You know, remember, she has made music her life. It tingles in her skin. Tingle meaning like as if poking through in her skin, all body. It is the vibration that comes on her body, and also her cheekbone. That means everywhere. And even my hair, can you imagine? Even the hair could feel the music. And when she plays xylophone, she says, the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. Remember, this xylophone is to be played with a stick, and so she is holding the stick and the sound is passing up the stick into her fingertips. You try to imagine something like some unexpected and impossible things, but it is true. By leaning against the drums, leaning means just put your back on the drums. She could feel the resonances. Resonance means echoing, the sound flowing into her body. Full body she could hear the sound of the drum. And wooden platform, on the platform or on the stage, she removes her shoes. What purpose? Why she removes her shoes? The vibration passing through her bare feet and up her legs. When it is bare feet without shoes, the sound could pierce through the feet and up her legs. 8th paragraph. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philanthropic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award, says master percussionist James Blades. God may have taken her hearing, but she has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. Same paragraph what was in the introduction, you see. She delights her audiences, those who are seeing, no, naturally they delighted, they feel very happy when she performs. In 1991, She was presented with the Royal Philanthropic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. You know what is Philharmonic Society's prestigious? It is the British Music Society which was formed in the year 1813, and it was to promote performances of instrumental music there. You know, there she was the master, but no, sorry, she was the Soloist of the Year award she got. And same sentence, this was the sentence of James Blade says, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary, something great. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. 9th paragraph, Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians, but the rewards are enormous. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. And Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. You see there, she confesses means tells the secret of her life, that she is something like workaholic means those who continuously working, they cannot remain without work. You see here, person who finds it difficult to stop working, they can't just like that sitting idle, they have to work. You see, she says there, I have just got to work, often harder than classical musician. You know how hard it is, the classical musicians, but harder than that, and she enjoys doing hard work. But then rewards are enormous, something great. Enormous means huge reward you get. Whenever there is a hard work, reward is something great. And you see where all she performs. Apart from regular concerts, regularly she is going around giving concerts to different parts of the countries and the world. She also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. You know, just for entertaining these prisoners and hospitals, the patients, those who are depressed, those who are sad, you know, she makes them happy. She also gives high priority, first preference to whom? For young musicians, those who are learning, the learners. And Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, who is this Beethoven? Beethoven actually is a German composer and a pianist, and he was a great musician, Beethoven. And in his name there is a fund, and Richlin is the director there of deaf children. He says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. She is a great example. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. Seeing Evelyn, these deaf children, they say that if she has reached to this such a perfection, to the top level in her music, then they also can go ahead in life. The last paragraph, Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. You see, she has accomplished more than most people twice her age, because remember, by 17-18 years she had been very perfect musician. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra. Percussion, remember, more than one instrument she could play with perfection, and she has shown that it can be very moving, very delighting, very interesting. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped. Those who are handicapped, physical handicap, they get inspiration looking at her life. They say, if she can do it, being deaf she could perform so beautifully, then why not I? And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. Enormous means huge, great pleasure to millions of audiences. Those who have listened to her music, they are delighted. I hope you have understood the lesson. Here you see, thinking about the text, there are 4-5 questions are there. You see, very easy there. First one, you see, how old was Evelyn when she went to Royal Academy of Music? You will find in the first paragraph, she was just 17 years. She looks younger than 17 years. So, she was 17 years old. When was her deafness noticed and when it was confirmed? In the second paragraph, you will find when she was 8 years old, it was noticed first by her mother, and when it was confirmed, when she was 11 years by the headmistress, when she urged, she forced her parents to take her to the doctor, to the specialist. The second paragraph, you will find the answer. Second part, you see, you have to answer in 30 to 40 words. Who helped her to continue with music and what did he do and say? Paragraph number 3, you will find one who helped her was, you see, there, third, fourth, fifth, sixth line. The percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential, and she is the one who began by tuning 2 large drums to different notes and telling, don't listen through your ears. Okay, and that's how towards the end you will find again the answer you can write. She could sense it, certain notes in different parts of her body. Okay. And then second, name the various places and causes for which Evelyn performs. She goes to different parts of the world, different countries, as well as in the 9th paragraph you will find, apart from regular concerts, 4th line, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals, also high priority to the classes for young musicians. Okay, this is the answer. Then third one, long answer there. How does Evelyn hear music? That answer you will find in 7th paragraph. You see, it pours in through every part of her body. You don't write my body. You have to write it her body. It tingles in the skin, her cheekbones, and even in her hair. When she plays xylophone, she could sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she could feel the resonances flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. Hope the lesson is clear, and write your question answers in your notebook. We shall continue tomorrow your part 2. Thank you.